What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to Dominic Fischio for the $50 donation via the PayPal. Shout out to you. $50 donation. Says Too Raw for TV and Too Raw for Sports. Thank you for all the fantastic videos and content. And more importantly, thank you for standing up to the stupid powers that be in attempts to silence you and other content creators with their bullying and constant hypocrisy. Keep preaching and keep fighting. Salute to you, brother. I will keep fighting and keep on talking. And for those of you who are wondering about my Too Raw for Sports channel, right now, I have that channel on private for certain reasons. I reopened my Too Raw Media channel. So for those of you who were subscribed to that, you may have been seeing videos recently on that channel. I'll be producing more videos on that channel. Some will be coming today. It is what it is, so, and for those of you who don't know about it, I have a Too Raw Media channel, Too Raw and the word media together. And I've been putting out content on that channel. So just want to let you guys know about that. So the Indiana Fever played the Connecticut Sun last night, and they lost by the final score of 89-72. And which has been the case for most of these games for the Indiana Fever. They haven't been competitive at all. And while it is true that this team is not very good, I still think that if you're a great player, supposedly of Caitlin Clark's caliber, just your presence alone is supposed to improve the team. Even Michael Jordan, the Chicago Bulls, before he got there in the 83-84 season, they went 27-55. Just his presence alone on that terrible roster, they won more games. They won 11 more games, 38-44. Wilt Chamberlain's rookie year, he didn't play on a great team. They won 17 more games than they did a year before. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, just his very presence on the Milwaukee Bucks improved that team. I think they improved by 27 games, more or less. Larry Bird, before the acquisition of Robert Parrish, before the drafting of Kevin McHale, years before the arrival of Dennis Johnson, he turned around the Boston Celtics 32 wins. Almost single-handedly. I would say also the addition of the hiring of Bill Fitch has something to do with that as well. But they went from 29 wins, which is the year after John Havlicek left the game, the 78-79 season. They won 29 games. They won 29-53. Bird's first year, they went 61-21 and went all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals and won it all his second year. And, of course, David Robinson, who was a monster before he suffered that leg injury in 1996, I think it was. The year before that, I think they won 20, what was it? Trying to remember, what was it? 20, I think it was 24 games, 21 games. I think it was 21 games or something like that. 21. I know they turned around by 35 wins. I think it was 21 wins. They had 21 wins, 21-61 a year before he got there, the 88-89 season. His rookie year, they went 56-26. They turned around 35 wins, mostly because of him. So I name all these players to say that an all-time great player, supposedly the greatest female basketball player of all time, she should still have some impact. And she really hasn't, not on that level. They're 3-10 now. Last night, her numbers were very, very pedestrian at best. 10 points, 3 of 8 shooting, 2 of 5 from downtown, which is good. But she committed 3 turnovers, which is below her average of 5.4 turnovers per game. And she had a plus minus of -30, which was not just the worst on the team, but the worst on the floor that night for both teams. So, her her overall play has been underwhelming. 37% shooting for the season, 33% from downtown. The league averages for field goal percentage, I think, is around 44%, and 35%. So she's playing below league average. She is averaging more than 16 points a game. And I'll say this, look, I think she'll get better, obviously, but I just don't see a player that is going to just dominate the WNBA. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not seeing that. But I tell you what I think the WNBA is doing wrong, and that is that they're not promoting the talent evenly. This is why the NBA, when I say evenly, I'm not saying that everybody should get the same shine or get the same love, but if you want to really promote the WNBA, then stop going the LeBron James route and trying to promote one player. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And these analysts, they just don't learn. These networks, they don't learn. They keep doing the same things. They keep trying to promote one player. And all it does is cause a lot of acrimony. It causes a lot of tension among the fans, and it starts making fans who aren't, fangirling or fan whatever you care off of one particular player, makes them start resenting that player. And then you got people who are coming over from the political spectrum who don't even follow sports, arguing with hardcore sports fans about where we should put Caitlin Clark. Did you know I've seen an imbecilic feminazi buffoon arguing with hardcore basketball fans that Caitlin Clark should be on the same level as Michael Jordan? All because of the fact that she's shooting the same percentage from three. I mean, just nonsensical rubbish. Balderdash. But yeah, man, they're trying to make Caitlin Clark the LeBron James of the WNBA. And at least LeBron James, his rookie year, as much as it loathes me to say this, he was a man child when he was 18 years old. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. The shooting was still spotty, but I mean, there were games you definitely saw the potential in this kid. So you could see the greatness in LeBron James. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see the greatness in Caitlin Clark. I still think that her shooting mechanisms are a little bit weird. It goes in though, but I think she could be an improved shooter. She doesn't have any mid-range game whatsoever. She's too strong. She's the WNBA game is a little bit too physical, a little bit too fast for her. She's not strong enough. She's mentally tough, which will get you far, but she doesn't have the other skill set. Look, Rocky Marciano was an undersized heavyweight, who by today's standards would be a cruiserweight. But he was able to make the most out of 190 pounds for 2 reasons. Well, 3 reasons. Number 1, his incredible toughness. Number 2, his incredible stamina. Rocky Marciano was one of the rare power hitters who could maintain his power in the 13th round, let alone the first round. Some of these guys, they can knock you out in the first couple rounds, but then they start wearing down toward the end. Rocky Marciano retained 1-punch knockout power throughout the entire. He really had the conditioning to go 20 rounds, but he had to be because he lacked the coordination, athleticism, and speed of other fighters. And also, I already alluded to what his third weapon was, his incredible knockout power. That's what made him an almost unbeatable and almost invincible fighting machine, despite the other traits. Caitlin Clark, she has the toughness, but she needs to build up her body. She needs to build up her body and build up her strength. I'm not saying become muscle bound, but she needs to get stronger. That's going to come anyway as she gets older. But, I think she'll get better. As she gets more accustomed to playing the WNBA game, she will get better. And I think next year we'll see an improvement. But I don't know whether she's going to be this player that is going to be like taking over the WNBA. I don't see that particular type of player in her. Maybe I'm wrong, but usually the greats have a almost immediate impact the minute they get there. You know what I mean? So I've said this before, but Larry Bird, his first year with the Boston Celtics, before the acquisition of Robert Parrish, before the drafting of Kevin McHale, years before they got Dennis Johnson, he turned that franchise around by 32 wins. He and the coaching of Bill Fitch, they went from 29 wins to 61 wins and going all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. Then, David Robinson's first year, I think the Spurs went from 21 wins to 56 wins. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's first year, I think the Milwaukee Bucks went from like 29 wins to 56 wins. Will Chamberlain's first year, the Philadelphia Warriors went from like 32 wins to 49 wins or something like that. I know they improved 17 wins. So, I don't see her as this all-time player, but it is what it is.